Easy people, welcome back to my channel at Big Steve MCFC. It's been a while, it's been a week. I've been on holiday, Portugal with the family. Really enjoyed myself. Burnt my head, as usual. Had to get away. Last season, 60 odd games home and away, took its toll. So, bit of time with the kids. Watched the Sheffield United game out there. Lots of blues in the bars that we watched it in. Got the result. And then we moved on to Fulham. I was expected to make the Fulham game, but we landed in Manchester Airport about 1:30, and they didn't have any steps to get us off the plane. So by the time I got off the plane, got my cases, got my car, it was about 2:50. And Big Steve had well and truly seen his ass. So I missed the Fulham game. I had to settle for a stream on my phone while I was driving home. Lineup came out. Debut for Doku. We haven't really spoke about Doku and Nunes because I was away when the deals got done. Mateus Nunes, what do you guys think? I think he's a good signing. I think with the sale of Cole Palmer as well, it's not a lot of money. He's different to what we've got. It's just a case of these players coming in and getting used to the Manchester City way. And I know that teams use that, the Tottenham way, the West Ham way, but there is definitely a Manchester City way, the way we play football, the way we train, the certain standards that Pep Guardiola demands. And I don't think players can just walk and go straight into that. Some have got the right mentality. Ruben Diaz, Erling Haaland, for example, that winning mentality, and it helps. Let's just hope that Doku and Nunes can get up to speed. Nunes was on the bench. Doku was in the starting lineup. Jack Grealish was missing. Apparently he's carrying a knock, so he was missing. Guardiola was dropped down to the bench. I don't understand that one. Probably just tactical. Maybe he's played a few games now and he's just giving him a bit of a rest. Looking at the team, though, on paper, it was a good side. Fully expecting to get the win. Anyway, what I seen of the game, we were a bit sloppy in the first half. There was one or two times where we were showing Fulham a bit too much respect. We were letting them keep the ball. We were giving it away sloppy. But Doku's shown some good signs early doors. He's definitely got a blistering turn of pace. You've seen one or two times where he was up against the fullback and he knocked it past him and got a crossover. Something that we don't really see at City. We tend to come inside with Grealish or inside with Mahrez when he was here. So Doku to go on the outside and get a cross in, it was refreshing to see, to be fair. I thought Phil Foden was brilliant again. Popping up in the spaces in between, going out wide. Just looks really, really dangerous, Phil, at the minute. I think, I touched on it on the overlap. They asked my opinion on Foden. I said this is going to be a standout season for Phil. This is a season where he needs to, put his mark down. He's a fantastic football player and he's been brilliant for Manchester City. But, watching him, that he's got more in the tank. And last couple of games that he's played, I think Foden's been brilliant. I think he's been really, really, dangerous. Come on late against Sheffield United, dangerous. Do you know what I mean? Game before that, he was outstanding. And then at weekend, again, he was popping up in them places. He was looking for that pass. So I think Phil Foden this season has started really, really well. I think he started really, really well. Then we got to talk about the first goal, Alvarez. You know what I mean? Erling Haaland. Did he shoot? Did he square it? I don't care. He squared it. Alvarez tapped it in, 1-0, and you're thinking, okay, floodgates going to open. Fulham go up the other end, get a corner, and score straight from the corner. I think everyone was stood still. The City defence was stood still. Nobody really knew what was happening. Tim Ream taps it in, and then obviously it's 1-1. But what I've seen of the game, Fulham, it was only a matter of time. We didn't even get out of second gear, you know what I mean? And when you've got that Norwegian on the pitch, Erling Haaland, it's, he doesn't need to touch the ball often. We've seen that. He scored 52 goals last season, and there was some people saying, as he chose the wrong team, he makes Manchester City worse. All that nonsense. He scored a hat-trick again. There's not enough words I can throw at this guy. Do you know what I mean? He's a deadly, deadly finisher. You know what I mean? A hat-trick again. I think it's his 7th hat-trick at Manchester City. We win the game 5-1. Nathan Ake scored. Akanji was in the way. Should it have been disallowed? I think so. Being fair, I think that Akanji was stood in the line of the goalkeeper. He does make an attempt to get out of the way of the ball. It goes in. But anyway, it wouldn't have made a difference to the score. We won 5-1. Do you know what I mean? Take it off, we won 4-1. We would have won that game all day long. We just get the job done. My word of the year, like I said last stream, is efficient. And we were efficient, but in a nice way. Erling Haaland hat-trick, Alvarez on the score sheet, Nathan Ake on the score sheet. Little word for Alvarez. Pep's trying to find a way of getting him in this team. Sometimes it looks like he's not really getting involved. Other games, he's been busy. I thought he did okay at weekend. He scored another goal again. He's another very dangerous player. His first season in the Premier League was outstanding. I think he got 17 goals in all competition. I think he's got 3 or 4 this season already. So Julian Alvarez, just a young lad. Haaland takes all the limelight, rightly so. But this kid, under the radar, doing things quiet. It's his 2nd season in the Premier League. I think Alvarez is going to have a great season. And it's good to finally see him in and around the team. Because I wasn't at the game and I watched it on the TV, I don't want to go too much depth because, when you're watching on TV, you don't sort of sense things. Just to mention the crowd, I think the 1894 group were trying to get the atmosphere going. For what I heard on the TV, it seemed okay. If it wasn't okay, let me know. How did it go? There was a singing section on the 3rd tier. I think Fulham handed some tickets back, so the 1894 moved a few lads up there, tried to get it going up there. Did it work? Let me know in the comments. But other than that, it was the substitutes that a lot of people were talking about. Obviously, Oscar Bob came on, looked very, very lively, did a neat little turn in the middle, always looked like he was on the front foot. I think with Cole Palmer leaving, Oscar Bob could get some opportunities. We know he's a good player. We know that Pep rates him. So it'd be great to see Oscar Bob feature a lot more this season. And one I was pleased about, well, there's 2 I was pleased about, really. Sergio Gomez coming on, setting up the 3rd goal for Haaland. It was brilliant because I think Sergio's been used as a left back. And I think if we got Sergio in a room and said, look, where's your best position? I'm sure he's going to tell you that it's wide left. Do you know what I mean? He looks like a fish out of water at left back, Gomez, for me. I understand he can fill in there, but you're going to get criticism. Southampton away last season, Carabao Cup, it was awful. This season, Euros, now they're coming into the season, coming on wide left, got a little bit of a trick about him, darts into the box, plays the ball across, Haaland smashes it in, fair play to him. Good to see. Good to see the kid get some minutes. He's had to be very, very patient. He's not had a lot of time on the field, but I'm sure getting an assist under his belt would be really, really good for him and his confidence. And we need these players playing. It's all right being on the bench and winning games, but we need these players getting minutes because there's going to be a time where we're going to need them. And if they're not up to scratch, if they're not up to match fitness, then it might tell. So good to see Gomez. And another one was Calvin Phillips. He come on, he was steady, he looked confident, he was moving the ball well. Calvin's had it tough, you know what I mean? He has had it tough. Fair play to him. He could have jumped ship. He's obviously had a word with Pep and said he wants to stay and fight for his place. But we're looking good in that midfield now. Do you know what I mean? We've got Foden in there. We've got Bernardo in there. We've got Nunes in there. We've got Kovacic in there. We've got Phillips in there. We've got Rodri in there. So that midfield core is looking solid. And there'll be a couple of variations that might work over the season where Pep might fancy Nunes and Kovacic. He might fancy Phillips and Rodri. He might fancy Kovacic and Rodri. We don't know, you know what I mean? We don't know. It just as the season goes, you're going to see these little combinations start to appear and maybe Pep will get his system right. There's one thing for certain, Rodri needs a rest. So taking Rodri off 70 minutes, 75 minutes, and giving him a rest, I'm all for it, because that prolongs his season, makes Rodri last longer. We need him in the business end of the season when the games are coming thick and fast. We need a fresh-legged Rodri. So I'm all for it. But I don't think we got out of second gear, Blues. I'm going to be honest. I thought we ticked along. We were sloppy first half. We got the job done. Great performance. 5-1 against anyone in the Premier League is always good. It's 4 wins out of 4. You know, people were talking about a drop-off. People were talking about winning the treble and maybe, you know, losing 5 or 10%. But it's not happened. We've won 4 out of 4. And we've refreshened and freshened up a number of places in this squad and got the motivation levels right. Nunes, Kovacic, Doku, you know what I mean? All good players, all players, Premier League, Nunes, played in it before, highly rated at Wolves, Guardiola, best young centre-back in Europe coming in. So we've added 4 great players to the squad, and we've also freshened up that mentality and that motivation when there's competition in there to keep people on the toes. Kyle Walker's going to sign a new deal. Bernardo Silva signed a new deal. Riyad and Cole have gone. Gundogan's gone. Laporte's gone. So, yeah, there's people left, but there's people come in. We've played 4-1-4. We've won the Super Cup. It's been a good start to the season. You know what I mean? We can't moan. You know what I mean? International break, the first one's always a shitter. You know, just as you feel like you're getting your rhythm, international break kicks in and you're just praying everyone comes back. Next game's West Ham. West Ham have had it tough. They lost Declan Rice, the captain. They've made 1 or 2 good signings. Paqueta could have possibly left for City, but of the gambling charges. Kudos is signed from Ajax, is a good player. Edison Alvarez from Ajax, also from Ajax, is a good player. So they've got some good players, and they got a good result at Luton the other night. They've beat Chelsea. So going to West Ham won't be easy. It's always a tough game at West Ham. So if we can get to West Ham, get the points and win 5 out of 5, you know, going into the Champions League first game against Red Star, you can't get better than that. We're doing all right. We're doing okay. We just need to get this squad up to speed, get this international break out of the way, don't lose anyone to daft injuries, and we're going to be happy. We're going to be happy. But anyway, Blues, what do you think? 4 out of 4. We can't get better than that. I've still seen people moaning online, oh, we didn't play well first half and all that. Listen, come on. You know what Man City's about now. We always start slow. We're starting fast. We're not even getting going yet, and we're still winning games. We've got a good run. We can, you know, we watched Arsenal win late again against Man United. If they'd have lost that game, we'd have been 5 in front already. And you don't want to be giving Manchester City leads like that. People can go and take away from us because you know we're coming at the death. But if you give us a lead like that, it could be over before it's even started for a lot of teams. Speaking about our neighbours, yeah? The salty neighbours from across the road. Apparently the Glazers are staying. Fantastic news. Fantastic news. The Glazers are the best thing to come into Manchester in a long time. You know what I mean? We're getting Sheikh Jassim. We're doing this. We're doing that. You're doing fuck all, lads. Because the Glazers are staying 10 more years. The Glazers stay in 10 more years. City are on the base. You've heard the chant. You've heard the chant. That's been a shit show. It's been a shit show. I'm getting these Man United fans now. This is how sad they are as a football club, the fans. I'm getting these Man United fans who are sending me threatening DMs because City winning and United losing. Yeah, I get that. Whatever you want to do, get it out of your system. If it makes you feel better, do it. Because I just have somebody there now, he just blocks them, so I don't even see him. But the new one is, I get these DMs, United, spelt with a Y, United, and a red dot. Okay. Manchester is red. Now, what possesses any Man United fan to come to a Manchester City fan page and send me a message telling me Manchester is red? when Manchester City have just won 4 trophies in the last 2 months. United's won the Carabao Cup and they've signed Johnny fucking Evans. And you got beat off Arsenal at weekend with Harry Maguire and Johnny Evans at centre-back. And you've spent 1.5 billion since Fergie left. You've had Ronaldo back, all that shit. You've not won a Premier League. What goes on in the mind of a Man United supporter to think that Manchester City fans give a shit? If you got to come on a City page, comment under City stuff, message City fans to tell us Manchester is red, you've seriously got a problem, because you're sort of like looking for validation. But you should be concentrating on your protests. You should be concentrating on getting the Glazers out of your club. The last protest you had, there was about 4 people there with a bed sheet and a fucking Megastore bag. Yeah? So instead of concentrating on Man City fans and what Man City are doing, and now Big Steve's got a bald head and you're the blue this and you're the blue that, keep that energy and hatred towards the Glazers, the people that are ruining the club, the people that dropped a little PR stunt the day after Ronaldo left saying, we're looking at options to sell the club, and you all went, the Glazers are selling. You fell for it. Hook, line and sinker. Share prices went through the roof. You fell for it. Nothing's going to happen. The Glazers ain't going nowhere. You're now struggling with Johnny Evans at the back. Sancho doesn't want to play for you. You've got fucking Harry Maguire, who don't want to leave because his contract's too good. You can't sign any players because you've got no dough. You've got to sign them on loan. But Manchester's red. Great, lads. Fucking great. Keep it red. Keep Manchester red. Keep Man City in the shadow. We love it in the shadow. It's nice in the shadow. It's lovely here. Trophies galore. Best football in the world. Best players in the world signing for us. Best striker in the world up front. Best defensive midfielder playing for us. We're going to Saudi Arabia for the World Club Cup. But Manchester is red. Johnny Evans, the main man, is back. Everybody in the Premier League, be careful. Johnny's back. Here's Johnny. Fucking hell. Johnny's back. Oh, my God. But anyway, that's my little rant about that, because I find it hilarious that people do that. There's some genuine United fans out there. Don't get me wrong. I speak to loads every day. And a lot of them are disgusted the way it's going over there. But what do you want from me? Sympathy? Did you give us sympathy in the second division? No. Was you taking the piss out of us every week? Yeah. If Manchester City was signing Richard Dunback and you was going to play in the World Club Cup, would you be taking the piss out of us? 1,000,000%. But the thing is with them, they're very precious. You can't mention Manchester United to them, because if you do, you're obsessed with them. He's always mentioning Man United. Well, I'm allowed to, because for 20-odd years, all you mentioned was City. 1999, you won the treble. All you mentioned was City. You had a banner at the Stretford End. All you mentioned was City. So because it's gone full circle now, and you're shit, and we're good, don't expect us not to mention you. Don't expect us not to slag you off when you're signing Johnny Evans, and you've got Maguire there, and you've got Anthony there, and you've got shit like that. Don't expect Man City fans not to take the piss. The new City fans, you can have a go at them, but us old school City fans, the ones who had to suffer your insufferable shit, we are milking it, mate, because this is the glory days for us. Man City are winning trebles, and you're signing Johnny Evans. 1.5 billion spent, 0 Premier Leagues. But you got Johnny Evans. Ronaldo fucked off because he found Eric Jemba's underpants in the jacuzzi. Toenail clippings from Karol Poborski and that. He got off. Your legend, Viva Ronaldo and all that. It's gone downhill. The reason you can't spend any money, Ronaldo. You give him too much dough. You panicked. But listen, Blues, it is what it is, man. I could stand up. I could do a full show on Jemba's underpants and Karol Poborski's toenail clippings, and the roof is leaking. The pitch is full of rats. You know, you can't afford fuck. I can do all that, mate. I can't be asked, because they know what shit they're in. But my point is, don't get onto City fans for mentioning United like we give a fuck, because when you shit, you get the piss ripped out of you. It happened to us for years. So deal with it. Deal with it. And it don't look like it's getting better anytime soon, lads. You've signed Amrabat, yeah, the Moroccan League Catamol. I said that online, you went mad. Who gives a shit? And the list that I gave you, start by finishing above us. That ain't going to happen. Start by going a Centurion season. That ain't going to happen. So this list is going to get bigger. Because once City's won this World Club Cup and we've won them all in the one season, you've never done that either. So that'll be added to the list. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But anyway, if you want to see more Man United slander from me, the Mank Talk is on Thursday, 12 o'clock, dinner time, Big Six channel. Me and Saeed are going at it. Saeed at the minute, the kid's down. He's depressed. Once he's seen Harry Maguire and Evans at the back against Arsenal, I felt sorry for him. But he'll be getting it on Thursday. Trust me. And anyway, just a quick mention. There's a documentary out on Sky at the minute. Hatton. Ricky the Hitman Hatton. Big Man City fan. And I'd just like to say it's an absolutely belting documentary. If you haven't seen it, watch it. I was very fortunate to be around Ricky Hatton and the camp back in the day when he was fighting against Mayweather and Pacquiao. I went to Vegas and all that. One of my close friends was in his gym. So I was there a lot of the time. I got to know his trainer, Billy Graham. I got to know Ricky a little bit and things like that. So I can sort of, remember them times when he fell out with his mum and dad and Billy Graham and all that. And I'm not going to spoil it for you, but all I'm going to say is documentary, Sky Documentaries, Hatton. Go and watch it. He's a Man City fan. He's one of our own. He's Manchester's greatest ever boxer, in my opinion. We had some fantastic times watching him, but it's a hard watch, seeing what he went through, depression, alcohol, drugs, etc. I know there's a lot of people suffering from things like that now. Go and watch it. You won't regret it. Another special mention, Man United fan, Lyndon King Arthur, boxer who I've known all my life, good friend of mine. Lyndon won the world title on Friday night, live on Channel 5. He got off the canvas to beat a tough Argentinian, Suarez, stopped him with a body shot, round 10, and he's now the world champion from Moston. Lyndon King Arthur, good friend of mine. Well done, Lyndon. And it's great to see these young kids coming from Moston. Big inspiration to a lot of the youth around there who can look up to him and think, you know what, if Lyndon can do it, I can do it. If you like having a scrap, if you've got anger issues, get to the boxing gym, Collieston Moston Gym, Moston, get in there, Pat Barrett, Tommy McDonough, all them boys, start hitting the bag. You never know where it'll take you. This kid's earning a good living out of it. He's got a good lifestyle, hard work, dedication. Lyndon King Arthur, even though he's a red, got to respect it. But listen, Blues, quick 23 minutes of me waffling. I'm back anyway. We've got Mank Talk on Thursday. We've got a new show starting Friday, I think, with Turkish on his channel called Title Talk. So there's a few things happening. It'd be good to see my followers increase. Once I've gone away for a week, the algorithm and that messes up. If you can please like the stream, share the stream, get on the City groups. Anyone that's not following Big Steve, get them on it. Come and support my channel over here. Leave me a comment in the comments section. I'll promise I'll try and answer all your questions. Thanks again. We're fully back for the season. Manchester City, top of the league, 4 from 4. We keep on rolling. Come on, City.